So you want to learn how to create this flashing bounce effect. I'm not really sure what to call it exactly, but it's this flashy bounce transition inside of After Effects. It's pretty unique and I haven't seen anyone break it down yet. But let's keep this intro short and let's get right into it. Alright, so I'm in After Effects and I got these two clips right here. And these are the two clips that I'll make the transition in between. Before I start breaking down this effect, I'll just open up Window, go to Extension and open up the VFX Kit. And this is my own extension that I've been working on for the past couple of months. So as you can see, we got a bunch of different tabs in here. We got grunge effects, shakes, rotor effects, hits, speed ramps, CRT effects, and transitions. And of course favorites as well. So if I just open up the shakes real quick, you can see that we got like a bunch of shakes in here, and you can see the preview of the shakes as well. Like I said, I'm not finished with this extension yet, but it's in the works, and I think we got over like 120 effects so far. So it's a lot of effects. I'm aiming for like around 170 or 150, somewhere around that mark. So if I open up transitions and scroll all the way down here, you can see that we got this quick bounce part 1 and part 2. So basically all you need to do to add any of these effects on is just create an adjustment layer and then press apply. And that was part 1 of the effect. So let's create a new adjustment layer and add on part 2 of the effects. Same way, just click apply. And then if I play through, you can see that we got this effect. I actually got to line up my keyframes a little bit, and let's see. No, I actually think that it's good. Maybe just move them one frame back right here, and that's basically all you need to do to add these effects on. And like you saw in the VFX kit, I got a bunch of different effects. Like there's so many effects in there, it's actually mind-blowing. But like I said, this extension is in the works. I just wanted to show it off real quick, but let's start breaking this effect down. So there are a bunch of different ways you can create this effect, but I'll do it by creating an adjustment layer. And let's add on a fill effect onto this adjustment layer. I guess you could also just make a white solid, because I'll just make this into a white color and then create a mask to look something like this. I just feel like it's a lot easier, and you can save it as a preset if you use adjustment layers. So let's go like 1, 2, 3 frames before the transition, and let's keyframe our color and keyframe our mask as well. And then I'll press U on my keyboard so I can see all my keyframes, and then I'll go in 1 frame, select my mask, and then just move it down just like this. And then I'll open up the proportional grid just so I can see where the middle is, and then I'll line it up correctly. And I'll actually do the same for this one right here, just like that. And then for the next one, it will go back up, but I will turn the color into black instead for this one. And then we also got to create a white keyframe right here. So we'll have it go up, down, back up, and then back down here, and we'll make it go back to white. And I'll have the black one be the transition, and then I can make it go back up to black, and then it can be completely finished for the next one. So I'll just basically move the mask out of the frame just like that, and we can remove the proportional grid as well. So now we got this, and of course we got our mask stuck here. So 1 frame before the transition starts, we just gotta move it out of frame, and that's basically it. Let's play through. It looks like this, and we definitely need to spice it up a little bit more. Actually, I'll just keep one of these black ones in here, and I'll just make the rest of them white. So just for the transition part, it will be black. So it looks like that, and that's basically the part 1. You don't need to do anything more for the part 1. Now we'll create a new adjustment layer, which will kind of help us spice this up in a cool way, make it look a lot better. So right here, when the first flash comes in, I'll add on a warp effect, and let's change our warp style to fisheye, and we can drag down the bend to something that makes it look really like distorted like this. And we can keyframe the bend. And then for the next one right here, we can drag it out even more. So we'll go for, for the first one, I'll go for like 50, for the second one 100, and then for the third one right here, I'll actually just make it positive, like plus 30. And so we'll have it go from -50 to -100, back to 30, and then we can do like -30, and then completely gone for the last frame. So we'll have it like this, and we'll add on like a couple a few blurs, and maybe like some glow. So let's go for a directional blur, and we'll keep the direction at -90 or +90, doesn't really matter. And for the first frame right here, I'll turn up the blur length to 20, keyframe it, press U on my keyboard so I can see my keyframe. Then I'll make it go up to like 40 right here. And then I'll make it go up to 100 here. So it's really like blurry. And I'll keep it at 100 here as well. So it will look like this. And then go back down to 0, of course. And now we'll add on a deep glow as well as a minimax. But let's start off with the deep glow. And let's keep it a really high radius. And turn down the exposure to 0. And we'll turn it up like right here to 1, or like, yeah, let's do 1, and let's mess with the threshold as well so we get something like that. And then when the transition is done, it will just go back to 0 for the exposure. And for the frame before it turns down to 0, we can keep it at 1 as well, just so we keep that kind of glow. And let's play it through. It looks great right now, but I'll end it off with a minimax effect, and I'll keep the blur at just horizontal, just like that, and keyframe the radius. Let's turn it up right here, and then we can turn it down a little bit from 100 to like 30 to back up, and then we can turn it down slowly right here, so it will look like this. That's cool, but I want to move this underneath my deep glow and maybe my warp as well, so at the top basically, just so we can see more of the warp. And now it looks like this. And that's pretty much it. We have a really solid transition right here, and you can save it as your own preset, just like I've done. I'll leave all of my presets, overlays, assets, you know, all of that good stuff linked at the top of the description. So if you're looking to level up your edits or just edit a lot faster, make sure to check the first link in the description. But if you watched this far, thank you so much for watching. If you didn't, thank you anyway. I appreciate every single one of you, and